That ain't a Raptor. What?
You know what? He's right. This isn't a Raptor. This is a GWM Tank 300. A couple of weeks ago, we had a really successful Black Friday campaign, courtesy of Zach and his excellent marketing skills. And because of that, we had our last 3 weeks worth of run sheets for the year fill up. So to make sure that we get you guys all of your orders and get all of the jobs out by the end of the year, we've taken a little bit of a break from Raptor content. Now, one of the custom jobs that we had to get done before the year was finished was this Tank 300 for Savage Tech Australia. We've already done the snorkel, so come along for the ride while we fab up the Airbox on this episode. So, like I said in the intro, guys, we've already done the snorkel. We had the car in the workshop a couple of days ago and got a chance to fab the snorkel up, but we didn't get a chance to finish the Airbox. Now, last time Byron had this car out Forbian, he broke the rear axles or something in it, so he needed it back so he could get it fixed. The next step, we'll get the Airbox ripped out. We've got Kev in today. He's going to 3D scan it for us. So he's been studying mechanical engineering at uni, so he's a perfect person to be able to help us develop an Airbox for this car. Let's get the Airbox out. We'll get Kev down with the scanner.
Well, while you're talking about mechanical engineering, there's 17 people in the background that have noticed this cut in the bonnet. And they're like, oh my God, structural integrity.
Yeah,
Do you want to run through why we had to go through the bonnet?
Yeah, I do actually. That's a really good point. So, very quickly, because this is one I prepared earlier. You'll see here that in the side, so in any other situation, we would come in through the side of the car. That's because in any other situation, there isn't a main structural part of the car that we would have to cut through to get the snorkel into the engine bay. It's already been done for us. So 97% of the cars we work on already have a hole in the engine bay. Manufacturers make it quite easy for us, the Tank not so much. This car's obviously got big flares on it, but when we had the inner guard out before we made the snorkel, the factory flare doesn't sit much lower than this. Obviously this thing's huge, which is why it's got a 5-inch snorkel on it. Even a 4-inch snorkel, we would have had to cut through this inner part of the car.
Which is the main crumple zone of the vehicle, right? Like these
I
are
think
designed.
so. Yeah. Like to me, there's a lot of, it looks very structural and it's not something I wanted to cut a hole in. I spoke to a contact of ours who does mod plates engineering and roadworthies, and I spoke to him about cutting the bonnet. Now I know that there are heaps of other brands on the market that do cut bonnets, I just didn't know what the legalities of it were. Basically, from our understanding, we can cut the bonnet, we've just got to reinstate the structural integrity of the bonnet. So
Nice.
while Kev's here with the scanner, I'm going to get him to scan the bonnet. We'll 3D model some plates, and that way you can get them laser cut, folded, weld it all up. And we're going to, I reckon we're going to nutsert and bolt, which would be really nice. We'll just put some nutserts around the outside and bolt on like probably a trim plate is the easiest way to explain it. Like a sandwich plate back over the bonnet. That's probably not going to happen this afternoon, obviously, because of the time constraints that we have with the vehicle. But to answer your question, yes, we are going to.
That would be part of the kit. That's going to
Correct.
reinstate the structural integrity.
Yeah, 100%.
I think there's only one OEM option, or maybe it might be not OEM, and it comes down like all the way down here or something. It's
Yeah,
god awful ugly.
And because that's, as you can see, the structure finishes here, right? So they would obviously come in underneath that structure.
Yeah.
Or maybe partly way through it so that they didn't have to cut a huge hole in it. Whereas where we wanted to enter in with our traditional mid-entry style was going to be right through this structure, and I wasn't comfortable hole sawing a 5-inch hole through it. So lesser of two evils, cut the bonnet, reinstate the structural integrity, and everyone's happy, and we've got a good looking product to suit.
No brainer.
Let's get Kev. Kevy scanned the engine bay of the Tank. What are we working with here, Kev? Give us a rundown, because this is way above my cardboard aided design skill level.
So I've basically just taken a scan of the engine bay, which is thousands and thousands of pictures, which all get aligned into one big picture, which then you can take measurements off, etc.
And so as far as the measurements go, like obviously we're going to want to try and pick up these bolt holes and stuff here.
Yeah.
Well, accuracy?
0.1 of a mil.
Really?
Yep.
Holy, yeah, that's awesome.
Look, you can like mess up the scan.
Yep.
And
How?
like losing tracking and stuff, but it's very easy to tell when you're doing it. Basically, if your screen flashes completely red,
Yeah.
stop. But if it
Danger to
doesn't-
manifold.
Yeah. If it doesn't, then it's fine. And yeah, 0.1 of a mil. You can align everything and just know it's going to work, fit,
Yep.
not make
That's
30
awesome.
trips to the laser cutters.
That is
like,
so good.
Yeah.
In any other circumstance, I would have made this airbox out of sheet. Usually I start with cardboard, then we transfer it to sheet metal. I'll around cutting, folding, welding. I'll usually make somewhere between 3 and 5 revisions, but given the time crunch and given the fact that Kev's now got this red hot scanner that we can use, I figured this would be the most efficient way to do it. Knowing that we've got an NP300 airbox lid, gasket and pressure plate here, it makes sense to make it that shape.
Yeah.
What happens next?
So because I've already got the NP drawings,
Yep.
I'll pick up, I know this down here is a bolt hole, and then one of these 3 at the back are bolt holes.
Yeah, I see. Yep, yep.
Yeah, these 3 at the back
That's
are
so
bolt
cool,
holes.
eh?
I'll align this all to the coordinate system XYZ,
Yep.
and then I'll bring the NP airbox in and sit it in the engine bay to where it's clearing the bottom of the floor here,
Yep.
but also the top of the guards.
Yep.
And then you can make feet, etc. off of that and align them.
That's wild. So it literally takes all of the guesswork out of
Yeah,
it.
and it's also a lot quicker because the time that you aren't spending fabricating it, like I still have to draw it off whatever you fabricate.
Yeah.
So I spend
So
no
it's like
more
not
time
double dipping
myself.
per
It's
se.
just excluding you from the picture.
Yeah, I get you. So that way I can go and pretend to look busy while the boys make money.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just a lot more accurate.
Yeah,
Like,
sick.
easier and accurate. Yeah.
Well, in that case then I'm going to go and pretend to look busy while you draw this.
Yep.
Sing out when you're ready and I'll come back and then we'll send the drawings to Pronto.
Yeah, easy as.
Awesome. Thank you,
Sweet.
mate. What we were talking about before, Pronto Sheet Metal. They're the guys that do all our laser cutting for our stock inlet airboxes. They pretty much actually laser cut all of our aluminium for us. They're a local company. We've been using them for a very long time. We called them earlier, gave them a bit of a heads up. We're like, look guys, we've got this job on, super time critical. Basically the second they get the drawings, they're going to laser cut and fold for us. We'll go pick it up and then that way we can get it straight in the car and get this car back to Byron today. So usually we wouldn't have this sort of flexibility. It's sort of like about a week, maybe 2, but like I said, we've been using the guys for a long time. We built an awesome relationship with us and we cannot thank them enough for helping us out today. All right, Kev, how'd we go?
Good. Very
Give
good.
us a look, give us a look. Please.
Right. So we've basically just fitted that NP box that you wanted into the car.
Well, that was cool.
Yeah, so I've made 2 bolt holes on the scan,
Yep.
which then allows me to fix it in there, so they're not moving.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, if we really want, we can move this side to side, but
I like when you move that, it moves the foot too. That's awesome.
Because I've made different surfaces in here where it mates it,
Uh-huh.
so I can still allow for adjustment, but it's staying it in a fixed position that
Yep, I
that's like
understand.
it has to be.
Yep, yep.
So yeah, you can see that those bolt holes line up.
Yeah, going back like where the intake pipe was poking through the airbox.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're just going to grab that
Yeah.
and sort of adjust
Because-
it to suit what we need. Hey.
Yeah, because that's a flexible hose. You can adjust it and move
Yeah.
it to wherever you want. If we need to move the airbox this way, I've made it so
Yeah.
we can move the airbox that
It's
way.
cool that the software will let you draw, like it just
Yeah.
swallows it. That's
Yeah.
sick.
So that's good for seeing like clearances on the bottom and stuff. So if say I got rid of that one, and then I brought the airbox down, so obviously that's going to be through the floor, and you'll be able to see it through the floor.
Which saves so much
Yeah.
backwards and forwardsing in the car.
Yeah, and
This
then,
is heaps quicker.
Yeah, it definitely is. And then I've allowed for 30 mil from the inside of
Yep.
from the snorkel to the airbox to
Yep.
allow a silicon to go on there too.
Awesome. Silicon nose clamp.
And then I've
Perfect.
just taken I've just taken the reference point of the rocker cover sort of thing for bonnet clearance.
Awesome. Yeah, cool.
As a good guess, but we can also adjust that if we need to.
All right, well, if we could get this saved, sent over to Pronto,
Yep.
we'll get them to laser cut it and we'll get fabbing.
Yeah, sweet.
Awesome. That is, yeah, that's red hot, eh?
Sick.
It's cool. Thank you, mate.
No worries.
Oi, Kev, I'm back. So this will show us basically where all the feet and everything go. So I'm just going to get him to come down and give me a quick run through, just because this is far different from my usual cardboard aided design. That way we can get it all welded up. What do you think?
Yeah, looks good, eh?
They hammered it out.
Yeah.
Front foot,
Yep. Front foot.
and then that's obviously the back foot.
Yeah.
So that's the foot that you said that you allowed 30 mil. So setting that foot will set the distance,
Yeah,
correct?
so 30 mil from the snorkel will be the centre of that foot.
Yep, I understand.
But they'll
Yep.
also give us back and forward movement, and I've also allowed for slotting on this one.
Awesome.
Because this is going to be so close for the snorkel for the silicon to come around the bend, I've allowed movement so you can move the airbox in and out.
Oh, that's
to
sick. Yeah,
just
awesome.
ease of fitment sort
Yep.
of thing.
And then it's obviously side plate,
Yeah.
a gusset for the back foot,
Yeah.
and then so that will sit in there, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Flex that out the road like we
Yeah.
spoke about.
So that'll sit.
That sort of there. That is unreal.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Just
awesome.
like that. And then that one does
Comes
sit.
up a little bit
Yeah,
for the
to where it's
clearance of the
level.
body.
Yeah, which I've got all the
Perfect.
measurements for Tom just to weld them on.
I suppose the only thing we should do, just to double check, not that I doubt you, but just to be sure, we'll check the bonnet closes. That is so much quicker. Oh, there is heaps of room. Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Let's go. Thomas! Hello, mate.
What's up, Nathan?
Can I get you to tack this together for me,
Yeah, no worries.
please? Basically, this is the airbox for the tank.
Yep.
If you've got any questions or whatever, we'll go call a cab, get him to come down and answer them. So we can get it tacked up, I'll get back in the car. Because these spigots, I'm obviously going to have to set the angle of them in the car
okay, yeah.
to suit the snorkel and the intake pipe and stuff. But for time being, if I could get ya, please, chuck the side on it.
Yep.
Kev's made these holes big enough so that that will go through.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes
So
sense.
that's handy. Take the feet on, and that way I can chuck it back in the car, set the position for those, get it welded, powder coated, and try and get this guy's car back to him.
Today, you reckon?
It has to be. All right, awesome. I'll leave it with you.
Sweet.
How'd you go?
Yeah, man, all good. All ready to go.
Thank you. We'll go test fit it in the car. Not that we don't trust Kev, but it'll save us cutting all these welds off unnecessarily just in case anything bad happens. Test fit it in the car. We'll set the orientation for all the bends.
Yeah, sick.
Get it sanded, nut certed. Boy, that's good.
Yeah?
Where's Kev? Never, Kevin, I never doubted ya. Nah, that is absolutely perfect. So we checked the bonnet clearance before, me and Kev, so that's sweet.
Okay, sick.
I'll grab some bolts, we'll put some bolts in the mounts, set these.
Sweet, sounds like a plan.
We're getting there, mate, we're getting there. I know you're gonna tell me that you told me so, but I can't believe how quick this is. All right, so what we're up to here, the hole we put in the back of the airbox doesn't quite line up with the snorkel. It was a little bit of a guess because we didn't have enough parts at the time when we were drawing it all up. So instead of having the straight on the end of the 90, we're just gonna have a small 20-degree kick on it, and that'll get us lined up perfectly with the snorkel, so that way it goes dead into the silicon joiner. Cut this, cut that off, rendezvous with Tom back at the car, and we'll get it all tacked up. All right. Did you bring your pillow?
No, I got the swag in the car, but
We having pizza for dinner?
If Dom says it's okay.
Boy, that is f***ing perfect. If you can finish welding that, I'll G Mitch up to get some powder on this, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Sick. What a bloke, eh?
Nearly
Good
done.
team. Very good team. Mitchell! Where is he? Hello, mate. Thank you.
Pleasure.
All right, you know what we didn't finish doing the other night? Finish filming the installation before Byron got to Springs. So you actually did get the car together.
Yeah, so whatever night it was, Thursday, I don't even remember.
Yeah, it was a bit of a time crunch,
The
right?
last 2 weeks have been a blur, but yeah, we got the car done, got the car finished. Byron come picked it up, took it to the Springs.
It's
Absolutely
been well
trashed
tested.
it. Yeah. I think he broke a portal or something, but I managed to get the car back off him. This kit's going to be available through Savage Tech Australia. So what we needed to do next was, well, first we had to test it. We found out it works. We know it works. That's good. We're going to get the car cleaned down, pulled apart, and get Morgs to jig it all up. And then that way we can get these kits available for sale.
Do you want to talk about what kits are going to be available? Like, obviously that's the 5-inch. Do you want to offer these in a 5 or just a 4? Or
Look, man, I think, to be completely honest with you, I think that given the size of these things and how puffy they are, I have to wonder whether a 4-inch would look too small.
Yeah.
I get that this thing's got bigger wheels, tyres, lift, etc., but I think given the proportions of the tank, the 5 looks good.
I think so too, yeah.
Obviously, we've got a couple of things we've got to finish off. We've got to jig it, finish the bonnet. Kev's got the 3D scan done, get all that stuff done, jig the airbox, but I'm sure that it's just going to be 5-inch. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I think 4s would look a bit too small. A bit too
Yeah.
poxy on that. But
I
yeah.
agree. Poxy,
Poxy, yeah.
bit too farm
Is
truck,
that all
I
right?
reckon.
Yeah, that's an all right word to use still, right?
Yeah, surely. If we can't use poxy, we're
The Airbox is actually a unit you already sell, right? It's an NP300 based off
Yeah.
that with some adjustments, so proven.
So like we spoke about earlier in the episode, given the time constraints that we had on getting this car done, we used an NP300 shell, or we based it off of a Navara. So the lid, the gasket, the pressure plate, it's all Navara stuff, so we knew it worked.
Yep.
We knew it sealed well. We got Kev to scan, draw the box. Pronto sorted us out.
Yeah.
It's effectively a Navara box. At the moment, it's got a BMC filter in it. That won't be what we're going to run. We're going to run a uni filter like we do in absolutely everything else.
Nice. That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, I think
Clean it
so.
up, get it apart, get it jigged,
Yeah.
get started on the Silverado.
You want to reverse the Silverado in or shall I?
Not at all, hey. It does not have enough cameras.
All right, let's get it in. So if you've got any questions about the kit, it's going to be available exclusively through Savage Tech Australia. And one thing that we get to do this time that we've never been able to do before is release a video of a product before we bring it to market. So if you guys have any questions or any comments about the kit, drop them below, because that will actually be really helpful for us for finalising this kit and making sure that the product that we deliver to you is going to be absolutely spot on, and that you know that you're going to get something that's going to fit. It's going to be easy to fit, it's going to work well. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about the kit or how we could make it better. This thing is ridiculous. I can't. How does anyone drive this? Well, no, that's definitely the shed. Is this even going to fit in the shed? I need help. Hey, can you please tell me how far back I can go? Thank you. There's a lot of this car, eh?
This is one of the forward ride models. Well, you might need something bigger. I mean, that's better. I think I could use something a little bit bigger. Hey, Pete. Can I please borrow your ladder? Thank you. Surely this will do, right? Hey, Zach, I found something for you to reach into the engine bay. Stay tuned for part 2 of this episode. We're going to get into the Silverado, we're going to get it finished off, we're going to get all the orders finished off, we're going to get everything finished off. Let's get it done. Let's go to Christmas.